Hi, John with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at Stealth Hitches hidden rack receiver on our 2023 Volvo XC60. Now, right out of the gate, I'm going to show you the coolest feature of this hitch is that it completely detaches. There is absolutely nothing below it. This returns your car to the factory look. When you're ready to use it again, you simply place the shaft back up into the coupler, push, and you're ready to go. So as you can see, your kick sensor will still work even with the hitch installed. Now for your accessories, this is a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver opening, and it's reinforced. Remember, this is not for towing. This is strictly for either cargo carriers or bike racks. This is the industry standard. This is powder coated. That's a gloss black finish, and it does not include a pin and clip. Now, a lot of your accessories may include a pin and clip. If you need one, we have them here available. Now, if you have accessories or if you're shopping for accessories, let's get some measurements for you, and then it'll help you figure out what you need. From the ground to the top of the inside collar here, looking at 14 inches when it's mounted on the Volvo here. Also, from the center of the pin here to the fascia, it's actually even. So anything that you buy, any accessory that folds up into the stowed position, you should be perfectly fine and not contact your rear fascia. Now let's talk about some weight ratings on our Stealth hitch right here. 600 pounds of tongue weight rating. That's going to be the force pushing down on the receiver hitch. Now that's plenty for a big bike carrier or a big cargo rack loaded up. Earlier when we were taking those measurements, and I talked about some of your accessories in a stow position. This is what I was talking about, a fold-up bike rack such as this. As you can see, that hitch sticks out pretty far. We definitely do not have any clearance issues with this accessory. This hitch really is just the beginning of your journey. It's not just bike racks. We have cargo carriers here. We have a demo team that works full-time to make sure that that the accessories that you want to buy with your Volvo will fit with your Volvo and work perfectly for you. The nice thing about this kit, if you do find yourself ready to tow in the future, you can upgrade, and we have an upgrade kit here at eTrailer that will allow you to tow in the future. If you already think that you're going to be towing, we have another kit. It's the entire thing. It's this receiver hitch and the ball mount and everything you need to be able to tow and still have the nice option to completely remove everything and still have that factory look. So we've shown you just a few of the features of the Stealth hitch. If you think this is the right hitch for you and you'd like to see either how to install it yourself or you just want to know what's involved in installing this, we can show you step by step in the video coming up right now. So let's begin our installation. First, we need to open our rear hatch. And at the base down here, you're going to see 2 bump stops, one on each side. We need to remove these and just turn them counterclockwise and pull straight out. Next, if you look above the bumper, you're going to see a little square here that's already loose. We want to take this off. I've got a plastic trim tool here, and you just come in from this side and remove it. You're going to want to do this on both sides. That's going to expose an 8mm bolt that we need to remove. Remove the 8mm bolt on both sides. We'll come over to our wheel well. Now this is going to be the same process on both sides. You can see I've already got some painter's tape because we're going to be removing the rear fascia. Just tape this up and that'll minimize or eliminate any scratches when we pop that off of here. T25, you're going to have 6 torque screws in here that need to be removed. Then we can peel back the inner fender well, and that's going to expose a T25 Torx bit that's oriented in the up position. We're going to remove that. That's holding our bumper fascia to the rear quarter panel. Now let's swing around to the rear of the Volvo here. You're going to have 4 T25 Torx screws back here. You're going to have 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Now we're going to be peeling our rear fascia back in this next step. You're going to want a place to put your bumper. So we've got a cart set up here. If you're at home in your garage, you could just set some cardboard out. Just know that you need a place to set this so it doesn't get scratched. Just grab underneath your fender well here, and we're going to peel out. There'll be plastic clips that we're popping. You can see them starting to come out. Take your time doing this. Okay, we're done over here. Now over on the driver's side, we're going to have a connector under here. So I'm going to do the same thing, slowly pull it out. I'm going to put my leg right here so it doesn't pop off. Right under here on the tail light, we have a connector. Push this to release it. That's all you need to do. Then come to the middle of your bumper fascia here and just pull straight back. Okay. So on this model, we also have another connector on the passenger side. So this is why we try to pull that off slowly, because you never know where you're going to find a connector. So that should be all of them now. Yours may or may not have a connector on the passenger side. I've seen it. That was a kind of a surprise to me. So, all right, we're going to set this on our cart. You can take a 15mm socket, and you're going to have 3 nuts on either side that are holding this factory bumper beam on. We're going to loosen these up. This bumper beam will not be going back on, but save the nuts because that's what we'll be using to mount the hitch. Take some tin snips, and we're looking at an area about 15 inches. So I marked a center line and went 7.5 on one side, 7.5 on the other. All we have to cut is a straight line right here up to the fold. Right here, and then over on the other side as well. And then we'll simply bend this back around. This is going to make clearance for the hitch. And kind of fold it back. And maybe round out any sharp corners here. Now we can take our hitch and we're going to mount it where the factory bumper beam was. And we're going to reuse the factory nuts. Now in your kit, you're also going to receive a new bolt, lock washer, and flat washer. Just put them on just like this with the split ring lock washer up against the bolt head. Those are going to thread in at this location here. So before you tighten everything down, it just makes it easier to thread this on here. This is going to be the same for both the driver's side and the passenger side. So get those installed, snug them up, and then torque them to the specs that you're going to find in the installation manual. Now, the new bolts that are supplied in our kit are 17mm. But they get torqued to the same settings as the factory ones. Now we can install the latch block here. Now, keep in mind that this kit is just for the receiver only. If you have the entire tow kit as well, there's going to be a few other pieces that you're going to be installing right now. There'll be a C block and some chain hangers that you're going to be installing right now as well. So the directions are pretty clear. You want to put your bolts in from the passenger side towards the driver's side. Use the supplied nylock nuts and then torque these to the specs that are in your installation manual. Now the size on these is 15/16, both sides, the head of the bolt and the nylock nut here. Now this is a lockable unit, and the keys right now, when they come shipped to you, are going to be up inside, stored inside of here. Now with everything mounted and torqued, we can reinstall the bumper fascia. Keep in mind, this goes back on the same way that we took it off, but you know, just go in slow. This is why we tape everything. Kind of support it in the middle here. Obviously, if you have an extra set of hands here to help you, it'd make it a little bit easier, but this is possible to do just by yourself. Those just snap back in. Remember, we have one on each side. These tabs are going to go in between your tail light here. And before I set them in, I'm going to come around to the driver's side and hook that electrical connector up as well. So I've got the connectors on both sides. I have the tail lights lined up here. Just give the bumper a push in the middle, and we'll come around to this side and just follow. I'm pushing kind of up at the bottom as well. This is just going to snap back into place. I'm pushing towards the front. Once the fascia is attached, go ahead and reinstall your torque screws on each side of the wheel well and then also underneath the bumper. Once that's done, and I saved this step for last, just so that we can see what's going on here, we're going to need to cut the very bottom of the fascia here to access the keyhole and the key mechanism over here. I basically measured 4 inches over. There's going to be a lip on the bumper here. We leave that, so 4 inches over, and cut it off like that. I'm using a multi-tool today. You could probably cut that with Sawzall or jigsaw or whatever else that you have. You can use a file to clean these up. And if you want a little bit more room, you can do that as well. Remember, you're going to be reaching up here, and your kids might as well. So just make sure you don't have any sharp edges. And that was just some of the features of the Stealth Hitches hidden rack receiver on our 2023 Volvo XC60.